Hi guys, welcome to this episode of Diary of a Female Lawyer. I'm Lucy and this is my girl Nat. You might also see Ray jumping on the sofa and making a guest appearance as well in this episode. So today's focus is all about equality, diversity and inclusion, which is a hugely important topic that we think we need to discuss.
Yep.
So me and Nat are going to share our personal experiences within the workplace and just within the legal profession in general. This is also something that we're going to discuss and raise with some of the guests that come on, because obviously they will have their own experiences in this area as well. So let's just kick off then by just having an organic chat.
Yeah.
Okay. So as you know from my intro, I'm quarter Jamaican. My dad's half Jamaican, my granddad was full Jamaican.
Mm-hmm.
So my experience from an EDI perspective is mainly to do with race and gender. In terms of race, I think mine is a little bit different, simply because not many people think I have any kind of diverse background.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people think I just tan well, or
Which you do.
Yeah, I do. Or I'm like Spanish or Italian or something like Mediterranean rather than mixed race, quarter Jamaican.
Yep.
So my perspective is from a completely different angle, I think, or my experience is from a completely different angle. Because, like I say, not many people know that I am quarter Jamaican, so most people find out from me explaining or sharing with them about my diverse background.
Oh, so do you feel like you shouldn't have to share that information because it shouldn't really matter?
Yeah, I don't think it should matter at all. But also, ultimately, I am comfortable sharing with people my diverse background because I'm proud of it.
Yeah.
I like that side of me and my family. I love going to Jamaica. I love the food. I love the culture.
Yep.
I love the music. I love all of that. So I am proud to say that I'm quarter Jamaican.
Yeah.
As well.
What's your favourite Jamaican dish?
Controversy. Ackee and saltfish is my favourite.
Ackee and saltfish?
I could eat that all day.
I didn't see that coming.
That's my favourite.
Really?
Yeah, ackee and saltfish, and then maybe brown chicken stew. But I do also like a curry. It's not Jamaican, but when I went to Turtle Bay the other day, I had Goan curry. No, not Goan curry. It was Trini. Trini one.
Oh, was it nice?
Oh my god, it was so good.
Oh, damn, all right.
Yeah.
I love a bit of curry mutton. Oh, God,
yes.
I could die for it.
Yeah, but I could literally eat ackee and saltfish at every meal time.
That's crazy.
I know. But no, ackee and saltfish is my favourite.
Okay, so back to the serious stuff then. Ackee and saltfish, love it. But back to the serious stuff. So, my next question is, seeing as people don't really know until you get into the workplace, do you disclose that information about your ethnicity on applications, for example?
Not if I'm not asked.
Okay. Yeah.
So a lot of the times when I've applied for jobs, it's literally just been stick your CV in.
Yeah.
And not like a full-on online application process where you can tick your ethnicity and stuff like that. Yeah. I'd say all of my jobs I've applied for, apart from my current one.
Yeah.
That might have, I can't even remember now whether it asked you.
I think it was quite a thorough application process.
Yeah,
so
I
think
probably
they probably
did.
Yeah,
maybe I did on that.
Yeah.
Well, I would have if it asked me.
Because some application processes, so some vacancies will purposely advertise and say that they are looking to attract applications from people from diverse backgrounds. So it's really interesting, and I didn't say this from the start, but I think I'll dribble in my experiences as we're talking.
Yeah, absolutely.
So my experience, it's interesting to hear that because you don't really leverage it for application processes, whereas me, I leverage my identity in my application process, in my what do you call them, statements.
Your personal statements. Yeah.
So, and I found that could be quite advantageous for me.
Right.
Whereas for you, it's been quite advantageous, even just people not knowing.
Yeah.
So that's really interesting.
I do sometimes think that in some of the places that I've worked, maybe I have got the job because they haven't realised. And I know that's really
interesting.
like controversial thing to say, but I do think that.
Okay. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about working for an employer that employed you under the guise or under the impression that you weren't diverse?
I think at the time I didn't realise.
Okay, all right.
But it's on reflection.
Okay.
I like kind of took a step back. I think it might have even been after I left because there was no other person from a different background or an ethnic minority background in that particular place.
Yep.
And I think I was the first person. I mean, I could be wrong, but at the time I didn't see anybody else. Solicitor wise anyway, from a different background. So yeah, I don't think they knew. And I think when I told them, they only came out because I was going on holiday to Jamaica.
Ah, okay.
So that's how it came out.
Okay, all right.
So I was like, oh yeah, going to see my granddad.
Yeah.
And they were like, what? I'm like, yeah, quarter Jamaican.
Did you feel like anybody's impression changed of you after that point?
No, I don't actually.
That's good.
No. Like I say, I think I've experienced it from a completely different perspective. Like, I can honestly say I don't think I've intentionally, I don't even know if that's the right word, been discriminated against because of my ethnic minority. But then also at the same time, I don't know if that's because people didn't know.
Yeah, true. So I'm going to bring in sort of the things that you see on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
And like how you've seen, Gen Z are absolutely out here trolling. So there's something that I've seen from somebody where they've essentially pretended to be somebody completely different, but with all of their own skills and experience. So I think they made a LinkedIn profile or applied for a job, but changed their name and picture or whatever. And they were successful.
Now you said that, I've obviously said I've not experienced something personally in that sense because I don't think people knew what my ethnic background was. But I have seen it happen to other people during the selection process. Bless you, Raymond. Where like I've seen people not even get an interview because of their name.
Okay.
So I have seen that, and I have, witnessed that with my own eyes. And I even on trainee open days and things like that. Some candidates haven't been successful potentially because of their name and how they speak. And the language barriers and things like that. But I was one of the in the end a few like advocates for those candidates. And the place that I was talking about earlier, when I left that place, it was very diverse.
Interesting.
Very diverse.
And maybe, because I'm thinking, is that a sign of the times? Because
maybe
people, I've realised that over time, that's when I mentioned about application processes and vacancies looking to attract people from diverse backgrounds, maybe that's a sign of the times in terms of they know that they need to keep up with other industry standards and other practice areas. And let's be honest, diversity brings all sorts of richness to the workplace in terms of perspectives, insights,
different experiences,
all of that kind of stuff.
So
I think it's interesting. This is not to cause offence, but to say it how it is, in terms of people not really knowing about your diversity, and if you wanted to hide it, you could. Would you say that that's a privileged position to be in then, in terms of not having to face discrimination or anything like that if you didn't really want to?
Probably.
Right.
I could quite easily, like you say, hide my
because you say you straighten your hair a lot. My hair. So how often do you have your hair curly?
Never. Unless I'm on holiday. But I think that's like
because of the maintenance
and personal preference. you know, if I'm on holiday, I can't control it because the heat, the humidity, it gets wet every 5 seconds. You know, you go in the sea, go in the pool, whatever. So I just leave it. People wouldn't recognise me, I don't think, with curly hair. It's like literally little ringlets. But I've straightened my hair since I used to watch Sister Sister. You remember what?
Sister Sister.
They started straightening their hair. So I started straightening my hair, and I used to make. Obviously, there was no such thing as straighteners. Well, there was, but not, you know, to the extreme that there is today. But yeah, I started straightening my hair because of Sister Sister. Like, because they used to have like really bushy curly hair, didn't they? Like afro hair. When they first started out, but then, you know, as they got older, they started straightening their hair, and I was like, oh my god, I want my hair straight. So I used to make my mum blow dry my hair straight every single day because there was no like straighteners, and it would take forever. And it was never like sleek straight like it is now because you can't really with a hairdryer, can you? So yeah, I've never worn my hair curly to work. Well, I have. That's a lie. I have maybe 2 or 3 times, but it just brings so much attention.
Yeah. So that's the next point about how do you feel when you change your hair? So just bringing in my personal experience here, I change my hair all the time. So any of my students, anyone that's worked with me previously in any of my previous jobs will know that I'll probably have a different hairstyle all the time. Calmed it down recently just because I can't be bothered. But previously, you know, I've tried all sorts of stuff like extensions, braids, all of that kind of stuff. And braids is something that I do really like as a protective hairstyle, but changing my hair just attracts so much attention all the time. Every time you come in just having your hair done, all of a sudden everybody wants to make a comment on it, which I always used to get a little bit irritated about because it's not as if I can give those certain people the same energy because they have the same hair every day. No offense. But and I imagine that's a really nice, easy life to live. But
and people always want to touch the hair.
Lived experience of that.
That's another reason why.
How do you feel when people touch your hair? Do they ask for permission first?
Like,
it just looks like a sponge.
It's so soft.
It's so soft.
Feels so nice.
How do you feel about people putting their hands on your hair?
I mean, I wouldn't touch their hair, so don't touch mine.
And also I just think, especially in, you know, in today's age, 2025, I feel like we shouldn't have to, especially the workplace. You know, I used to get it a lot at school. But in the workplace, as adults, as human beings, how are you going to put your hands on somebody else's person and not ask permission? Consent workshops are being delivered.
I know what you mean. When you think about it like that, it's pretty outrageous, isn't it?
It is. But that's the reality of it. But I feel like in terms of people's experiences, because people like me might have experienced it quite often, it's just normal. It's just it's exhausting to have to push back all the time. And potentially damage working relationships when you tell somebody no. And no is a full sentence. You shouldn't have to justify why. So going back to when you did wear your hair natural to work a couple of occasions. Did you feel like you were treated differently in terms of competence? So in terms of, you've already sort of said people didn't really treat you much differently, but it attracted a lot of attention. But do you feel like you were treated differently in terms of people feeling like you weren't up to the job?
I think it was more in my head about what people thought about my hair being curly. Obviously it brought attention, but I think as well, in my head, I don't think I looked professional enough.
Okay, all right. That's a whole discussion in itself.
So that's why as well I didn't used to wear my hair curly very often, because I felt like, I don't know, unprofessional, not taken seriously.
And maybe that's a reflection for yourself of when you are used to wearing your hair curly in home settings.
Yeah, on
not-
holiday.
Yeah, you're
not
in
a
a professional setting.
environment.
Yeah. Because I'd say that you're not the type of person to think of anybody else to be less professional because of the hair.
No.
Because you've never treated me differently when I've had different hairstyles.
No, absolutely not. It is probably like a me thing. Yeah.
So, because off the back of that discussion, when I've had braids before, I remember when I was in practice and I was going to court, there was a lot of discussion around the office about whether it was appropriate for me to go to court wearing my braids.
Wow.
And naturally, it wasn't like a negative discussion. People weren't necessarily telling me not to.
Okay.
If anything, my colleagues ended the discussion saying you should just go for it. So I did. I went to court with my braids for the first time, and nothing happened. The world didn't set on fire.
No.
I was the only reason why I was conscious about wearing them to court is because obviously you've got court etiquette.
Yep.
You've got old school rules about, women should have their hair tied and all the rest of it to look professional. So obviously you can't really do that. You could tie your braids back, but they're still in your face. They're still rumble. I like a bit of blonde in my braids and all the rest of it, so they look quite obvious. I'd say that if anything, the judges, so the judge that I appeared for when I had my braids, she actually gave direct feedback back to my manager that she thought my braids were nice.
Oh, okay.
So it felt really encouraging to have that seal of approval from someone so high up as well, because it sort of said to me that maybe as guys on the ground in practice, maybe we're just
overthinking it
a little bit. But maybe that also it's derived from those old school rules and the old etiquette. But I'd say that my negative experiences at court were probably from other people in terms of like security or clerks or the other side's lawyers, for example. The first ever time I went to court, I practiced in family law, and the first ever time people assumed that I was either the mother first, and I was dressed up. Anybody that knows me,
always looking smart.
I dressed appropriate for court.
Point.
Yeah, I had blazer on and all the rest of it. So people thought I was the mother in the case. Then people thought I was the social worker. Then I finally clarified that I was here to bring the case. That was probably the most negative experience I've had. But I thought maybe that's a whole different category of issues. Maybe it wasn't just to do with my hair. I think that's back to the diversity point. Because I think in the area that I was practicing at the time, there wasn't that much diversity in terms of the legal professionals, maybe. There was, but they were already established and I was new on the scene. So natural, I suppose so, but I wonder what other people's experiences would have been, who looked different.
Do you think
whether they would have been assumed to have been the mother?
Yeah. Do you think it's because you look so young, maybe, as well?
Yeah, I suppose that's a part of the diversity discussion, the whole EDI discussion, age. And I do think that age definitely plays a part.
Oh, massively. I remember when I used to be a police station rep, and a couple of times when I've gone to represent people, they're like, why are you here? Like, you're too young. Yeah, or you're a female.
Yeah, okay.
I've had that before.
Were you actually quite young, or did you just look young?
I was.
Because I think you look young.
I was 23, maybe 23, right. 24.
Fresh meat,
yeah. So I was. I think that's young now. So I mean, obviously 23, 24, going into a police station or prison or whatever. It was daunting. So I think you're naturally a little bit nervous anyway. But yeah, a couple of times they were like, no, I don't want you. And I need I want a man, or I want someone older that has more experience and knows what they're doing.
Okay, it's an interesting discussion about gender, about wanting a man to represent them instead of a woman. Where do you think that sort of came from, or
I don't know.
Do you just not really have that insight?
No, I don't know. I think within criminal law, I think was kind of like a man's world, wasn't it? Most of the barristers were male. Most of the solicitors in the firm that I worked at were male.
Yeah.
And maybe this particular client just had males represent him before and hadn't had a female before. Because when you're a duty solicitor, you just ask for duty and you get whoever, comes. But yeah, I don't know. A couple of them were just like, no, like I want someone with more experience, or, I want a male to represent me.
Yeah. Okay. That's interesting. Okay, so interesting about our experiences, and obviously I've spoken about how I have braids here or there, and people might have seen them before, but you haven't really been as adventurous with hairstyles.
No, literally.
So, have you ever had braids?
The only time I've had braids is when I was in Jamaica.
Okay, all right.
So some woman on the beach gave me some braids, and it hurt.
Yep, they do. Yeah,
pulled half my hair out.
No pain, no gain. No pain,
Which is
no
why
gain.
I'm like, a little bit bald right now. I blame those braids.
Yeah. How long ago was that?
Literally, like maybe 15 years ago, probably longer.
Okay, so they're not for everyone.
No,
but did you like having braids? Like, did you like the style?
I did. What I did end up doing was taking out, the back bit, and I just had like this bit at the front, and then like my curly hair. That's what I ended up doing. So I just had the front bit braided.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't have like beads in or anything. It was just yeah.
They can be painful though. Anybody
out there? It hurt.
Anybody out there that you're about your braids,
Yeah, it did. The
first night sleeping in those.
I love the look of braids, but I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can pull them off.
I think you could.
But I like the ones that you have, like the thicker ones. Yeah, these were like, it was literally just my hair. There wasn't any weave or anything.
All right, okay.
So yeah, so it felt quite thin.
Yeah, you never know.
Maybe you can do my.
You never know. Maybe for the next episode, I
come with some braids.
She'll be looking tired because she wouldn't have slept all night. Okay, so I think we touched on earlier talking about like recruitment campaigns and vacancies and the drive for more diversity in certain spaces. So my point was, my question to you is, do you feel like in your time in practice and in any job that you've had, do you feel like you've had role models in high enough places to see your own career develop in a certain way for you to relate to?
No, I don't think I've ever worked at a firm or anywhere I can think of where someone higher up or more senior has been a black female. Like, obviously some females, but when a lot of the firms that I've worked at were mainly males in senior places, like partners, managing partners, directors, all of that. No, I've not worked in an institute where there's been a black female, senior than me.
That's very interesting. And
what about you?
Did you feel like that impacted how you saw your own career development, or did you just know that you were going to try and go for whatever you wanted to go for anyway?
I mean, I would have just tried to go for it anyway. It didn't really massively bother me that there wasn't anyone, who looked like me that was, higher up or whatever. But I can see how it could hinder some people,
even subconsciously without you thinking about it. It just might not feel relatable or feel achievable.
No.
And it might feel like you're the person to break through the barrier, and you're the person that's got to do the hard work to break through that glass ceiling in the first place. But I do think it's a very interesting discussion, and in other spaces there's been recruitment campaigns to bring up diversity in those spaces, but then I find that there's studies that about, I'm not going to name any names, but there's studies that show that actually once diverse people are in those organizations or spaces, they actually don't get the right support to then progress into any higher position. And so there's statistics that they might put out there might look good because they do have diverse people working there,
Yeah.
but
They're on the lower levels.
Yeah, they're all working at the front line, lower levels, and actually, it's not really a true reflection of who they should be representing as a society, perhaps. But, I think that's a very interesting point. I think there are some good initiatives out there. Yeah. For sort of, especially nowadays, in terms of bringing up diversity in the right places, and even trying to change perspectives. So, for example, that reverse mentoring scheme that I took part in, that's been a really great experience for me, where essentially the whole point of that reverse mentoring scheme was for diverse professionals in the legal industry to share their experiences of being in practice and how it's impacted them. With sort of less diverse or non-diverse professionals. To clarify and provide more support for certain people to come into those spaces and feel safe, I suppose. And I think that they're doing a really great job in some places. I think there's still quite a lot of hard work to be done. Yeah, I think some of the workplaces are just a tick box exercise. And some of them aren't taken as seriously as they should be. You'll definitely get those places. Yeah. But some are trying. Yeah, at least we're going a little bit forward with things. Rome wasn't built in a day. Yeah. So I feel like we started out with a bang. Oh god, yeah. We've this being one of the first quite episodes. A heavy it's quite heavy topic, isn't it? I feel like, you've been vulnerable with me at times, and I've been vulnerable as well. And I feel like we've covered certain things, but we definitely haven't had the time to cover everything. No. Especially, like I said, different communities that we don't have lived experience of. So I think that's where our guests will come in. The guests are going to bring a whole host of richness to those discussions, and it's just more reason to keep tuned. And learn more. It's going to be a learning curve for us as well as for everybody else. So absolutely. Hopefully, if anything's sort of piqued your interest, we will explore more in detail about certain things, and get in touch if there's anything that you're interested in that we mentioned but we didn't go into detail about. Then we will be having a Q&A episode. Definitely ask us some questions. Anything that you want to know about us, we will share. Whatever we feel comfortable in sharing with you guys. But like I've said before, like, this is an honest, real podcast. So we will be as honest and real as we possibly can with you guys. But thanks for tuning in again. If you found this episode helpful, or if you've liked it, subscribe, follow us on Instagram. It's just Diary of a Female Lawyer, all one word. And we'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye. Bye.